Today's coaching session is with a pre-level 30 player, former AD carry, trying to learn jungle. He started a new account, and right now we're going through the basics of jungle. He is really overwhelmed. There are so many things to work on when you are new to the role, or you're just like still learning jungle and you feel like there's just so much going on. Like, do I take grubs? Do I take dragon? When do I take Atakan? Like, there's so many things that you can do as a jungler. When should I gank? When should I recall? When should I invade? When should I take my camps? So much information. And in this session, there's a lot of information overload for the player. But I think one of the key moments towards the end of the video is we talk about what is like the one thing he could focus on. Because he's like, Dylan, I'm going to get overwhelmed if I try and focus on all these things that we've talked about right now. What's the most important thing? And what I said is information and focusing on objectives in terms of why am I doing this objective, or why should I do this objective, and how can I do this objective in relation to what my allies are doing and what my enemies are doing. Objectives can only be taken in League of Legends when you have understanding between your allies and you have knowledge of where the enemy is and if they can contest it or not. If you don't have the information on where the enemies are, what you're doing is you're engaging in a coin flip scenario where you're thinking the enemy's not going to come because they're not on your mini-map and you can't see them on your screen. So you're like, awesome, I can do this objective. But where a lot of junglers and a lot of like lower elo players struggle in general is understanding when they can actually do an objective and when they've got like fake priority, or when they're just simply coin flipping and they could potentially lose the game or lose a team fight. So I hope you guys enjoy this. It is a live game coaching session into then a review, but I've actually cut out the live game coaching because my internet was really poor. So it was almost like watching a slideshow. No one wants to watch that. So we're just going to look at the review that we go through together. Awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you're interested in coaching like this, please check out the links in the description below. I have one-on-one private coaching sessions, which this is, but I also have more affordable solutions, which are group coaching sessions. So we have weekly boot camps in our Discord, and we've also got a premium membership as part of that boot camp and that membership, where you get a 30-minute VOD once a month. So if you're interested in that, check out the links. Let's get into the video. So with me kind of giving you some advice, what were the biggest things that we were doing differently in that game compared to the ones you usually play on your own?
The biggest thing I feel like was you had better vision than what I was looking at. I constantly forget to look at the mini map. And I think someone there saying look there was very kind of good for me. Yep. Also, I tend to kind of like either overthink what I'm about to do, or like not make the right choice because I'm chasing a kill or something like that. So yes. I think that was the biggest thing.
Yeah. Yeah. A good thing when you're chasing kills is to think, is this going to get me closer to ending the game? And if the answer is no, then we stop the chase, because usually there's something more important on the map. So that last one was a really good example. Your team was pushing mid while you were almost about to chase Ivan. Does chasing Ivan end the game? No. Does grouping mid with your team end the game? Yes. And in general, we want to make the decision that ends the game faster because there's less chance of mistakes. Awesome. So let's open up the recording from that game with your insights.gg. And what I want is I want you to control it and you kind of to stop at all the moments you're a little bit confused about or you have questions about. We'll mute our commentary in the bottom left. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. So take a look at the histogram and yeah, think about where you want to look at. I particularly want to look at all the objectives, but if there's anything you were confused about or have questions about.
So I just want to know what could I have done better in the fights?
Yes.
2 times that I died, I just want to know how could I have avoided them.
Cool.
So for example,
yep, let's watch this one.
Here.
Yep. Let's go backwards because we need to see what caused you to take this fight.
Exactly. Right.
So I told you to go to Scuttle Crab after blue buff.
Yes.
Now, remember how I said you wasted 5 seconds?
Yes.
If you didn't waste the 5 seconds, you would never die here. But let's look at it in the game state, so you did waste the 5 seconds. So let's look at how you can avoid the death, even if you do waste the 5 seconds. But the initial thing is you never waste the 5 seconds because you never die here then. Cool. Okay, so let's pause it. Let's pause. Okay, so what do you see on the map? Tell me the information.
See a level 4 Iron.
Yes.
A scuttle that is still full health. Bot lane is basically neutral.
Yes.
And
what's mid
what's
lane?
Her name? What was her name? Shit, I forgot.
Mel.
No, she's off. No, my Mel is there.
Yes, but, and Wei.
Sorry. Yeah, Wei's missing.
Yes.
But Wei is very little health. I know from before. And Ivern is useless at this point in the game, except for his stun, which would just delay the inevitable. So my head was like, okay, I'm gonna fight this, but I think I should have questioned more where Wei is.
Yes.
And kept an eye on bot lane to know if I need to just get out.
Yes.
That I didn't do.
Yeah. Okay. So let's watch it play out, because Wei is the instrumental factor here as to why you die.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool, so I think turning for this fight here is okay. But see how you don't see Wei?
There,
yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. Right there, when he flashed, I should have let him go and turned back and waited for the scuttle to come my way.
Yes, because you also saw Wei coming first before Mel.
Exactly.
Yeah. Good. So do you now think you know why you died here?
Yes.
And does it feel like you could probably avoid that situation in the future?
Yes. I don't think I could win this fight as it was, but I could definitely have not gotten myself into that mess. And I think the biggest thing for me is I need to keep an eye on the mini map when I'm starting fights like this. It's definitely something I don't do as much.
Yep.
And I just get surprised by, being collapsed on.
Yes.
So, if I kept an eye on my mini map, I think I would have, been at least given myself a chance to kind of see them coming.
Yeah, you need more information. So just like the review I sent you, you can never start an objective unless you have the information. Where is the enemy mid lane? Where is the enemy bot lane? Where is the enemy jungler? And if you don't know the answer to those questions, you need to find those answers, or you take the risk of dying taking the objective.
So here's another point in the game I think I could have done better. No, I didn't. So I did. So I think what I should have done here is I should have put a ward here somewhere in preparation for the dragon. That way I know, I have the scuttle and I have a ward behind the and I didn't do that.
Yep. Your use of your trinket, your yellow trinket and your red trinket, was very poor this game.
Exactly. Yes. So I know I have a problem with vision, but I'm trying not to focus on too many things while I'm playing.
Yep.
I'm trying to
Yeah, one thing at a time. Yeah, vision isn't that important yet. There's more important things you can fix. Yeah.
Exactly.
Awesome. So why don't I want you to take that fight?
Let's see what we got here. Okay. So first of all, they're close to their tower. They're not out in the open. They're basically in their own areas. They have Champ, who basically his whole job is to make them to give them be in a bush stealthy, basically.
Yep.
And my Zaya and John Kench are low health.
Yes.
And yeah, that should have been enough for me not to take the fight.
Yes.
And they have the Ivern is full health.
Good. And you don't correct yourself until I tell you to go.
Yes. Television.
Cool. Now, what do I tell you to do here? Because we see Ivan bot side.
Go take his take his side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you have done that on your own, do you think?
I think I would have.
Good.
Because it was popping in my head as I was like, okay, he's downstairs. Like, he's downstairs.
Yeah.
He's bot. He's bot lane. They're all fighting. He's not gonna be up here for a while. And literally, as I was thinking this, you were like, go take his jungle.
Good.
So I would have thought of that. Maybe not consistently,
Yeah.
but that time I definitely would have. Like, it would have popped in my head right away.
Cool. Now, why
I
do
would
I
have gone
want you...
down and taken his walls too.
Yes. Why did I want you to
was
do
good.
grubs instead of wolves?
Because they're free right now.
Yes. Yes.
And
Exactly.
like,
They're free. And what's more important, his wolves or grubs?
Grubs, now.
Yes. Good. So we always want to take the more important and free objective or camp.
Yeah. So it's, do you see, like, I'm starting to feel like it's the little things that cruise me over all the time. It's just like a domino effect.
Yeah, but that's why you just got to grind the role, because you haven't even been playing jungle that long. So there's still so much you just don't know from experience. And you said you learn the best with experience.
Yeah.
Cool. So why do I say you can take this fight?
Again, he's level 4. He's not 6. I have a level ahead of him.
Yeah. There was one other key piece of information. Nothing to do with you or Ivan.
Both of my laners are basically collapsing on us.
Yes. See how everything, every decision you've almost made wrong and I've corrected is just information? It's not like a secret hack. It's just information that you're not taking in because you're so overwhelmed, which will eventually, everything will start to quieten down. But it's just going to take a bit of time before you can kind of analyze the game with this much kind of going on.
My second, this one. I want to see. I forgot how I died here.
Cool. I remember how you died.
Okay.
You forgot about the objective. You thought kills were the most
I
important
visioned thing. Yes. So in my head, I think it's, and I'm not trying to like defend myself or anything.
No,
but in my head, it's like if I kill Ivern, I don't have to worry about him with the dragon.
Yeah. So why are you aiming Zyra then?
Let's
go back. Let's go back because I think
it's where I get tunnel vision and.
Yes. So what's more important here? Let's pause. So what's more important, Ivan, Zyra, or Samira? Because you had all three options. You had Ivan at the start. Samira. Now you've got Samira or Zyra.
Samira.
Yes.
She does the most damage.
Yes. And what do you go for? You go for the... Look at how exposed this Samira is.
Yeah. The low health bar just always
it baits you. But
it's the blood sense.
Yeah. It's the blood sense fault. It made me do it. Yeah. So what we should have done here is fought the Samira straight away, because that forces you.
Samira ends up doing the most damage to me.
Yes. Yeah. See how you completely ignore her and you overextend yourself and your team. Yeah.
I also get scared of Samira because of her ult. I have like really bad memories from when Samira first came out, and I was like ADC. Like she traumatized me.
Yeah.
But I should have totally focused her.
Yeah, Warwick has a lot more ability to deal with the Samira than an AD carry. So yeah, your PTSD from
cancel her ult with Warwick can cancel her ult with his E, right?
Yeah,
I've never tried it.
And your R. Yeah.
And my R.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So we do this. We kill Zyra. Now I try to go for Samira, but it's too late. And then Daisy is wailing on me.
Yeah.
And why the fuck did I die here? Oh shit.
You overextended.
Yeah. And then away, of course.
Yeah. And then you flash and then you don't dodge that ability. It would have been hard to dodge that, but you maybe could have.
So I could have, like, if I stopped, if I went backward and waited a second, I didn't expect it.
Yeah. Yeah, the play was over, and you wanted to keep the play alive, basically.
No, this dragon was free. Nothing was happening. Tom Kench was kind of zoning them off of it.
Yep.
Nothing was.
Good.
Samira tried to bait me into it, but I didn't go.
I wanted you to take the fight, though. Why do I
Interesting.
want you to take this fight, do you think?
I was surrounded by my other teammates.
And who's the stronger bot
We
lane?
had just
Your bot lane or their bot lane?
our bot lane.
Yes.
Samira doesn't have ult.
Yes.
Um, I guess I got a little confused because like I was really trying to just take the dragon before I do anything else.
Yeah, of course.
But I probably should have taken it and left the rest of my dragon for my teammates. I could have one on one her.
Yes, and again, it's information. You just don't press tab. I kept telling you throughout the game, look how far your team is ahead.
Yeah.
And like I would say the score, like your team is 13 kills to 3 kills. So really far ahead. And you can see your team's up 4.7k gold at 16 minutes. So if we take your dragon and then our team is itching for a fight, look at Tom Kench and Zaya. They're in a position to fight bot lane. But you kind of run away and just let them, like, maybe it's going to work, maybe it's not. And what ends up happening is they both die to Samira, and then you go and clean up the mess. So let's watch it play.
There's also nothing else on the map for now. It's that time.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rift Herald is up, but it's the Rift Herald.
Yeah. And at 16 minutes, when you're 6 and 13, what do you think's more important, blue buff or helping your team, your bot lane, who's just won their lane?
Definitely helping my bot lane.
Yeah. And watch, see how Samira will get a double kill, and then I tell you to chase this. And you get confused, you're like, why would I chase this? But I'm like, no. Yeah.
So for a second when we were talking, and I guess I didn't pay attention when it happened, but I didn't realize because she's standing right where like right here. She's standing right where the tower is.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I didn't notice that tower was destroyed in the previous fight.
Got it. Okay.
So in my head, it was like, oh, she's under her tower. There's nothing I can do. But then I realized that, like, when you told me, I was like, oh, what? There's no tower. I can do this.
Yeah. Got it. Okay, that makes sense why you were hesitant.
Yeah, cool. I was...
And that's why we move our camera. See how you move your camera after you want to go somewhere? You actually want to move your camera to your destination before you start moving. Whereas you move your camera halfway to your destination. Like, imagine if you were driving and you did that. You're just looking at your feet, and like halfway home, you look up and go, "Oh I'm on the road." Like, where am I?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, you're almost trusting the nav man. You're just looking at the nav man, not looking at the actual road.
Right. So I think, what do you think? The most thing I should focus right now is information.
Yes, information to make decisions. Because you're making really bad decisions, and it's just because you don't have enough information. Not in a bad way. Like, it's just what happens when you're learning jungle.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think you should focus on? And then I can give maybe my thoughts on what you should focus on.
I think, like, this was very insightful. Like, I can tell, like, the difference between, like, knowing something and not knowing something. How bad, like, I used to get so pissed off. Like, I'm like, okay, I can take this fight. I can do this. And like, as soon as we start fighting, like, just get collapsed on. And like, I always got pissed off because I thought, like, back in the day, not now.
Yeah.
Like, I thought, like, oh my god, it's just I'm not lucky. Like, I can never catch someone, alone.
Yes.
But then now I'm starting to realize that it's not that. It's the fact that I don't pay attention to the mini map. And I used to be an ADC, so just tunnel vision on the thing, and if the jungler shows up, it's a toss up if I win it or not. So like it's really hard for me now to like readjust from that.
Yes.
And with Ashe, I had my E, so like every minute or two, I'll just throw it in the jungle and see if the jungler is down.
Yeah.
So like I never really needed, or I thought I didn't need to watch the minimap, and now it's biting me in the ass.
Yeah. So based on that, what do you think the biggest focus for you is?
I need to find a way to remind myself to look at the mini map like every 5 seconds.
Yes. So what's a good way to think about that?
So I tried, in the past, I've tried to like putting on like there's one of those like YouTube videos
Oh, with the
that
timer?
will
Yep.
basically with a timer and ping like every 5 seconds. But it
Yep.
just like in the heat of battle and the sound of the game just gets drowned out.
Yep.
So I think I just need to put it on a different screen. So I think I'm gonna try to start putting it on the TV while I'm playing.
Okay. I
Um,
think you need to move
see
your
how.
camera more as well, though, because if you move your
Yeah.
camera, you'll have better understanding of the mini map and vice versa. So what I would
Yes.
like you to do is between every
Mhm.
camp, move your camera.
Yeah.
So remember at the start, I was trying to get you to move your camera between every
Yeah.
camp? Because you don't need to watch
Um,
yourself auto attack a jungle camp.
yeah.
You need to move your camera
Sure.
to see what the other people are doing and to give yourself time to make a good decision.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to get used to this to the role of jungle.
Yeah.
I don't want to beat a dead horse, but like you can't do that as an ADC. Like you have to keep an eye on
Oh,
everything,
of
otherwise you
course.
can get killed in every like.
Yeah.
So it's still like it's just another thing. But I will ask you like, what do you think of my like fighting when I'm actually fighting? Is there something I need to do better? Is there any like, I mean, Warwick's pretty simple. There's no combos or something like that. But like, is there
Um,
like positioning in a fight, in a team fight, or one-on-one or scrimmage? Like, is
um,
there something I need to be doing better?
you need to be using your actives. So you barely use flash, you barely use your stride breaker, and you barely use your smite. So you
Yeah,
need to use your smite, stride breaker, and flash more. I think you only like flash once or twice this game, which
yes,
is crazy.
I always like fall into this like thing where I'm like, I need to use my flag defensively. I don't want to use it defensively because it could save my life.
Yeah,
But there's definitely a lot of times where I'm like, oh my god, if I use my flash, I can kill them, and then I
yeah,
wouldn't have to worry about my life being threatened.
yeah, yeah. So
So
I think your fighting overall is probably like silver gold standard if you used your stride breaker, your smite, and your flash correctly. Because everything else
so
is pretty good. Your E's are pretty good. Your Q's are okay. Um, the biggest issue with your fighting is you just don't know when to quit. Like, I had to tell you to leave fights. Like that
yeah,
one there, for example, you were just about to run into 4 enemies and you lost
mhm,
your whole HP bar just walking.
definitely.
Yeah,
It's also this thing where with Warwick, where it's like everybody tells you that Warwick is most comfortable when his health is low. So you
yeah,
all like I always think, oh, I can just 1 Q and I can get my health back. But that's not how it works with like multiple people. If it's one-on-one, yes, but multiple people, no, they'll just kill you before you can get your health back.
yeah, yeah. So I think your fighting's okay. You just need to use your stride break, smite, and flash more. Cool. Do you know why I wanted you to group here? You wouldn't have grouped here unless I told you to.
Yes, it's because like you said, they need a bodyguard. They need someone to at least scare the enemy from going in and killing all of them.
Yeah, yeah. And you also had the Otacam buff that is like the
Yeah,
free revive. So your whole team wanted to die there if you watched what they were doing.
yeah.
Yeah,
See, that's the other thing. I for some reason I think I just mixed both of them. I thought that was the other Otacon
yeah. No,
because
for
I
sure.
saw a couple of petals on the floor after the fight. I was like, oh, that's the ferocious one,
Yeah,
and then I realized I was like, oh no, I have the GA buff.
yeah. And if you're confused and your team's doing really well like this game, just do
Mhm.
what they do and see
Yeah.
why they're group like be like, okay, why are they grouping here? And just go follow them and see what happens and then you'll go, oh okay, this is why they were grouping. They wanted the fight to take tier 2 turret and then, to get some kills.
Mhm.
Yeah, because
That's
you
what
would
I
have
did with
gone
the
and
other
farmed.
Pokemon.
You would have gone and farmed right now, but I told you to go mid because we're going to end the
Yes,
game or we're going to
absolutely,
get closer to ending the game.
absolutely. I mean, we did. It was like 2 pushes,
Yeah,
definitely.
yes. So my biggest thing I think
Mhm.
you need to focus on is just asking yourself why. Like you need to like if you want to do dragon, ask yourself why do you want to do dragon and think about where your allies are and where your enemies are. Because if you can answer the why and then you can figure out where the enemies and allies are, you're going to make really good decisions.
Ooh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you just broke out for a second.
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
Yeah, so I just want you to ask yourself why and then how.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you got a lot of homework to do.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah. But your biggest friend is game volume. So, you know, obviously you have a life, but the more you can play, the faster you will slowly learn all this stuff and get the bad habits out.
Yeah.
And again, I'm really happy with your win rate. You know, it is below 50%, but, you know, we're just getting back into Warwick. You've only played 14 games. You're not even level 30 yet on this account. So I'm really happy. Like, I'm happy with your progress. And don't look at your progress comparing yourself to others. Just look at your progress like, well, how good was I in Warwick last week? And, like, I bet you last week's Warwick compared to now, you're going to be light years better.
I don't know. I couldn't figure out the QE combo to save my life until like this week.
Yeah, yeah.
And I would always either do it too early, like do the E too early, or do it too late.
Yes.
So no, definitely I feel myself getting better. So this was very good. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
All good. I'm gonna write some follow-up notes into our chat that you can think about. And in our last session, did I tell you to make a little spread, like a notepad to focus?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I have my notes.
Okay, good.
That I
Because
really
you never
keep
shared them
every
with me. It'd be. Did you share them with me or?
No, I just added a little bit. I'll send them to you.
Yeah,
I
update
do
them
want to
after
show
this
you.
session, and then send them to me once you've updated them.
So I do want to ask you about something.
Yes, go for it.
I've been like I was kind of going in a little bit trying like on the practice tool.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out an alternative build for Warwick.
Okay.
Anyway, it doesn't matter, but like I just kind of like did a couple of testing with crit rate Warwick, and in the practice tool, it looked a lot more fun and a lot more better, at least late game, than the normal build that I go to. Is that something you think I should test in a game?
I would say no, because you've got so many other important things to do. And that's probably going to be the least impactful in terms of improvement and progress.
Yeah. All right. Heard.
Awesome. So I'm going to write some notes. It's
And
also
also
not
my
Warwick's
idea.
job. So think about Warwick as a bruiser fighter. What you're trying to do is make him into like an assassin crit player. If that was viable, you'd generally see the one tricks on Warwick playing him that way. But all the high elo one trick Warwicks play him the way you're kind of playing him now, where he's a bit of a bruiser and a tank.
Sounds good.
Awesome. All right.
Well, thank you. I'll share those notes with you right away.
Excellent.
Probably gonna add some of the stuff that we talked about today to it too.
Cool.
So,
and I'll share the
yeah,
recording and the notes I have as well.
All right, sounds good.
Sweet. Have a good night.
You too, man.
Bye.